A common question I get is, Kevin, what's the difference between reach versus traffic Facebook ads? In today's video, I'm going to go through the difference of both and talk strategically about why you might want to use one or the other to get better results with your Facebook ads. Take a look. Hey everyone, Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you're brand new to our channel, welcome. We're glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and close more transactions. So if you're after more leads, appointments, and transactions, this is absolutely the place to be. Please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here as part of our community. Before we get going in today's video, down in the description below, I will put a link to our Facebook Masters class. It is a 2-hour class chock full of all of our best practices of how we're helping real estate agents like you crush it on Facebook. So if you're interested, go take a look. It's completely free, 2 hours of your time well spent. Today's video, what we're going to be talking about is reach versus traffic Facebook ads. A lot of times people say, Kevin, what's the difference between one or the other? Why should I use one or the other? And is there a strategic reason and does it matter? I know that's a lot of questions, but the answer is yes, it does matter. And so let's jump into the nuts and bolts and let's just kind of walk you through this. So when you go to create a Facebook ad, one of the first things that Facebook is going to ask you is what your campaign objective is. Now, a lot of people skip through this and a lot of times they just click an option just to get to the next screen and they don't realize the difference and why it does matter. So the ones that we're going to talk about the majority of today's video is going to be this option here, traffic, and this option here, reach. Now, you'll notice if I just hover over reach, it just says show the ads to the maximum number of people possible. So what's happening with this is there's really no optimization going on for the most part behind the scenes. Facebook's just showing it to as many people as possible for as low of a budget as possible. So if part of what you're after is show it to as many people as possible for as little as possible, then reach would be one of the objectives you would definitely want to consider as part of your ads. You'll notice if with traffic, it just says send people to a destination like a website, app, Facebook event, or messenger conversation. So your intent is to get them to click on it. In most cases, you're going to be directing people to an external third-party website, and you want to drive as much traffic to that page as possible. Now, with that being said, let's just kind of talk about what's going on here so that you understand it and you can make the best decision possible. What a lot of people don't realize is whatever you select as the objective for your Facebook ad, Facebook optimizes the ad for that purpose. Keep in mind, Facebook is monitoring and watching everything that everybody is doing on their platform. So they know who's clicking on links and who's watching videos and who's liking, commenting, sharing, engaging, filling out lead forms. They know who's doing all of this because they track it, and that's part of the value of Facebook ads as a platform is having that kind of data that you can use to help grow your business. Now, when you select reach as the objective, Facebook is not doing any of that optimization behind the scenes. Whereas if I were to select, say, engagement, which Facebook defines as likes, comments, shares, clicks, if I were to pick engagement as the objective, Facebook is going to look and find people in my audience who are most likely to like, comment, share on in our case, real estate related post. Whether it's a video, whether it's an image, doesn't matter. They're going to, with that particular objective, engagement, they're looking for people who have a history of liking, commenting, sharing, clicking real estate content. So that's what's happening behind the scenes when you pick the objective. So with reach and traffic, it kind of comes down to what's the strategy and what is it that you're trying to achieve. So let me give you some examples. Like with reach, one of the things that is unique and specific about reach ads is there is a frequency cap. So you'll notice here I'm just going to skip ahead on this screen just to get to the ad set. You'll notice on the ad set, there's this section for optimization and delivery. And if I show more options, this is where we get to the frequency cap. So the frequency cap is I can say show it to people twice every 2 days. So what happens sometimes when you're running ads is, depending on the size of the audience, you may have a really small audience, but you've allocated a big budget for your ads. So because the audience is small, Facebook can't show the ad to more people because the entire audience was small to begin with. So if you've allocated a large budget, the only way Facebook can spend that money is to keep showing the same ad to the same people over and over and over and over and over. So if you, as a consumer, if you've been looking through your Facebook feed and you notice that you're just getting pounded with the same ad from the same company over and over and over, it's because they've defined a very specific audience that you have become a part of, whether you've clicked to their website, watched a video, whatever action it is that you've done that has put you into their custom audience, right? They're just targeting you over and over and over and over and over because their thought process is, well, if they clicked on this or went to the website or watched a video or whatever, then that makes them a pretty good candidate for our product or service. And so we're just going to keep showing ads over and over and over again. Well, you in the real estate industry, you might not want your ad to show over and over and over again. You may want to say, well, I don't want to annoy people, and so I only want to show it to them twice in a 7-day period. Well, that's exactly what this will do. And this is one thing that is unique with reach ads. You don't get this same kind of option with other objectives of ads. So this is strategically one of the reasons why you might pick a reach ad, is because you are going to say, well, I only want people to see it X number of times in X number of days or weeks or whatever you want to define that as. So if that's part of your strategy and objective, then reach would be the objective that you would want. The other reason why you want reach is you just want to send it out to as many people as possible and for the lowest budget possible. So really what you're optimizing for is keeping your cost as low as possible and reaching as many people as possible. And so with that, Facebook blasts it out. Typically your cost per impression with reach ads is way, way lower than any of the other objectives. Okay, so those are strategically the reasons why you would want to use a reach ad, is reach as many people as possible for as little as possible and limit how many times people see the ad so that you're not just inundating them. Strategically, that's why you would do it. Now, the other objective that we're talking about is traffic. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that. And then again, traffic is defined as sending people to a third-party website, a third-party web page, things like that. So if you were sending people to a page on your site, but if the site had, it's not real relevant in the real estate industry, but let's say you were sending them to a product on your website, asking them to purchase, traffic is probably not the option that you would want. You would want to use a conversion ad for that. If you were sending them to a page on your site, let's say you'd created a landing page where you were capturing a lead, then you would want to use either lead generation as a replacement for that, or a conversion ad tracking who was filling out the form and who's not. So again, traffic, I would not use a traffic ad for either of those cases, asking someone to make a purchase or asking someone to become a lead. Where a traffic ad would be very valuable would be sending someone to a page on your site where it's just got information. Maybe it's a blog post, maybe it's your About Us page, maybe it is a list of homes, a search criteria, something like that, where you're not asking anybody for contact information, you're directing them to your site. That's what you would want to use a traffic ad for. And the reason why that kind of an ad becomes valuable is if you have the Facebook pixel installed on your website, then that code is going to track the people that you're sending to your site so that you can retarget them later on. So as an example, you could go to your website, do a search of homes that have a mother-in-law apartment, right? The accessory apartment. And you could market that list, send people to the list, and the people who are clicking on it to go to the list, you know that they're interested in mother-in-law apartments. So you could set up a custom audience to where you're saying, I want to I want to target everybody who came to this specific page on my website, which would be trackable through the Facebook pixel. You need to install the pixel on your website. If you don't know how to do that, I'll put a link to a tutorial right here. You can go watch that. But that's how it would track and know who's been to the website. And then since you know those people are interested in mother-in-law apartments, you could target them with another mother-in-law apartment that just hit the market today or tomorrow or something like that, notifying them of new ones because you know that group of people, that's what they're interested in, right? That's when a traffic ad would be valuable. And one of the things that's valuable about sending people to your site and tracking them is that Facebook allows us to capture those people who have been on your website through the pixel for a maximum of 180 days. So for 6 months, you get to keep marketing to these people, right? And that becomes super valuable. So that is where you would want to use a traffic ad, is sending people to a static page on your site just to get them involved in the pixel so that you can retarget them with something else later. If you're asking them to make a purchase, if you're asking them to opt in, capture contact information, then you don't want to use a traffic ad for that. You'll get better results if you do a conversion ad or if you do a lead generation ad. So again, different styles of ads, different objectives for different purposes. So when we're talking about the difference between reach versus traffic, these are the differences. Reach is all about maximum number of people, lowest budget possible, and your frequency cap, limiting how often you're going to show those ads to people. Traffic is all about sending people to a page on your site, getting them picked up in the pixel so that we can traffic or target those people with other ads later on. Strategically, that's where that type of an ad would make tons of sense. So hopefully that little breakdown between the reach ad and the traffic ad makes sense. So if you found that valuable, click the little thumbs up button down below. That split second helps us tremendously, and we appreciate your support. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing. You can click that subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell notification. You'll be notified every time we put out brand new content, and we put out brand new content like this every single week. Also, if you want, you can go to the description down below. You'll find out more information about our services. We do provide services to help agents market their business. So if you're curious about that, go check that out. Also, I'll put up a couple videos right here just so you can continue to learn more strategies and more tricks and tips to grow your real estate business. Other than that, that's it. Make it a great week. Keep crushing it with your real estate business. If we can help, please let us know. We'd love to do that. Otherwise, we will talk to you soon. Take care.